Hello, and hopefully this is working all right. My name is Aeon Yu. I designed and built this Sky Tether, and I'm making this video because there seems to be some problems with the activation of it, getting it started. So I thought I'd quickly run through the tutorial, how to get it going, and hopefully that will help alleviate some people's problems, in theory. Right, so as you can see, I've got a Sky Tether already in operation there. I just wanted to prove that to myself that the system is working and it is functional, provided the right startup steps are followed. So now I would say this is a version 1, but it isn't. So let me just get rid of it. Control delete. So that's not what I want. Let's pull in the Steam Workshop copy that I have. So copy to clipboard, and let's just plonk it down there. So there is a bug with this initial blueprint where this merge block here and this merge block here start off in the wrong state. So we'll just grab this control panel here and let's go car merge. Now we want to turn this to the off state, and we want to make sure these two are in the off state as well. The other top one is this one over here, and this is the blueprint for the top bit over there. Of course, you're going to have to reattach it after you've put 3 pistons in one place, if you're trying to do this on survival. Yeah. Clarification, this is mainly a creative build. It's intended to be a demonstrator so people can learn from the inchworm design, because that's the model it's using. So by all means, once you've got it opened it up into a creative world, study how it all goes together. Basically, the main subroutines are in these timer blocks here, and these control going in and out of each piston and then going up and down. The side blocks are utility bits that supplement the program, and the main program flow is usually in, I think it's around these ones. I haven't quite checked in a while, but if you take them apart, see what's on the see what's in setup actions, you'll see what's going on in here. Now, this one, I believe, yep, that's a starter timer for the welder itself. So, back to where we started. You want to turn those merger blocks into the off state, and then you want to make ready these arms. So you want to get them extended out. So that is the third button on the left and right control panels. So timer block B, so unlock lock status Bs. So we'll just press that one. That'll kick through 2 timer blocks for the bottom one. So we'll just wait for this one to pass through. So the first timer block extends the bottom arm, and the second arm will initiate the latching of the connector. Now I have put a little bit of a delay on each. And did I hit the right one? Aha! So I did the top one first there. Okay, let's get the bottom one going. Bottom, there we go. I should have read the sign, read the text properly. So the top one only has one state because it doesn't have a connector block to deal with. Now, the reason you can't put the connector block in the same timer is because when the timer kicks off, is triggered, the connector's nowhere near. So it needs to be on a separate timer block. So as you can see, the bottom timer block is now going. Once that clicks over, you can see the connector has now latched on. So that is good. That is your startup set. Yep. At the moment, you can see they haven't merged together. And this is because In the default print, we've got these merge blocks here latched together. Now that's to be expected. You want that to be happening on your first load in, and before you even start printing. So we're going to now kick off the process. Let me see. In my notes, it's left 4. Here we go. Timer blocker starter. The weld starter. So you can see that's kicked off that timer block there. If I just get a bit more distance, you'll see that I'll move the arm into place. Now, because we moved the bottom arm in place, we've got the projector in place as well. So these welders should now start welding up. At least that was the theory. Projector. Show any buildable. Why aren't you printing, my dear? You should be going. We'll just see if this actually will print when it starts going up. Well, I'm going to have to scuff this video and retry again. What's the betting? It's because this hasn't latched. It hasn't. There we are. So, we've got a bit of diagnostics there. Let me see what's going on down here. One. Oh, did it do it? No, it didn't. So, you can see what's happened there. Because the merge blocks at the bottom didn't latch in, the projection didn't align correctly. So, we need to restart, basically. You can see the arm went in and we can't do anything. So, let's restart that. Control delete before we break anything on the server. And quickly, let me get my blueprints up. Sky Tether again. It's good to show bugs because you can see what you have to do to get around them. And I didn't bury that into the ground. Give me a moment. Copy to clipboard. That's better. That's going to stay a lot more stable. So let's try that again. Merge. Off, and off. Let's bring... We want the first arm down. We can kick you off, and let's kick you off at the same time. Save a bit of effort. So you can see the timer blocks there that are controlling both of the arms. There's about 10 seconds delay before it kicks off to the next stage. Okay, let's quickly hit the start welder. Basically, we want that to latch. And while that's going, let's get the projector back in. Ooh, that sounds... Only show build. If that... Yep, that's latched in. Aha! The print is going. Okay. Ooh, get my back into place. So, we should be able to see the inchworm start now. As soon as that timer block kicks off. Come on. It's the waiting game, I'm afraid. So basically what happened there is that you want to have your bottom arm extended first, it would seem. Have I put a... Nope, it's kicked off. Where are we going? It should start moving in a minute. It's getting itself ready. You can see the merge blocks have disconnected themselves now. So first it goes through the retraction of the top arm, which is why we want to have that top arm in its place extended initially. Otherwise it's going to be extended in the wrong place. And you can see it's now building up to its next stage, and then the top arm will move back into place, latch on as it should do, and there we go. It's ready, and the bottom part will now inch itself up. Now, don't worry about these two bits these 3 bits not being printed up. That is expected behaviour. You can always come back to it, come back with Welder later on and put those bits in place yourself, as that is mainly just decorative parts. So we've got the bottom arm now retracted, and it's bringing itself up. So it will meet the safety interlock here. Those will latch together temporarily. That's good. And then the arms will the bottom arm will put itself back into place, thereby aligning the projector. See, now the projector is now in a buildable state. Now, as default, you want to keep the projector block only showing buildable, because that will reduce lag on the server. So you only really want to see the blocks that you're initially building. And there we go, in for another cycle. So we can see this one's actually been building a little bit while now. It will take a while to get up to a sizable distance. However, unfortunately, although it's called an orbital tether, it won't actually get onto a orbital state on the Earth-like planet. And that's simply because it's too much of a distance, and there's a hard-coded block count in Space Engineers that prevents you from getting that high. And once you get a print that gets to that state, the whole grid starts phasing through. So you'll find once it gets up to that height and you don't stop it beforehand, when it goes to latch on to its next, it will try to latch on, find it's failed, the arm will decouple from the bottom, and the whole sky tether will fall down back onto the ground. You don't really want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this to inch itself up, and we're going to turn off the sequence. Ideally, you'll get about 4K in height easy on this, but you want to keep it away from your other builds where possible, just for so you can maximize the PCU limit in the area. So once this latches back, we want to stop the process. We're going to stop, and we're going to stop, because we don't want to go any higher. We then got to retract the arm. I've got to try and find that now. I don't think I've set up a timer block for that. I've done one for starting. I haven't really done one for disengaging. So, piston. Main extend. I've forgotten what I've called it. More fool me. car welder piston. There we go. So we're just going to retract that. Turn off the welders because we don't want them anymore. So yeah, you may find if you're trying this in survival, you won't get these pistons here. So you're going to have to put them in yourself and rename them appropriately. So piston main extend B, if I can find it over here, C, and obviously D and A at the bottom. A should print fine. B, C, and D won't. You're going to have to put those in yourself and then align the projection so it's connecting to the top of that. That should enable you to get more, should in theory, fingers crossed, enable you to be able to print the top section. Obviously you're going to have to align your projection of this grid so this part here is in its place. In theory, that should be how you do it. So, center console. Center console, once you got up to your height, is for bring the tether up and down. So, if you go button 1 here, we'll kickstart the process, and that will take the train downwards in the same speed, but on the same speed as it took for you to build it in the first place. So, as you can see, we've got a disconnect here. The whole tether. The tray now, the carriage, will go down, it will bring the arm back in and then lock in place. And then it will bring the top arm back down. So, you can see where the inchworm design is here. Now, once that brought itself into place, there we go. So you notice at the start of the build that neither of these merge blocks will connect to the tower until the safety interlock that connects it to the base station is done. In saying that, has that been re-enabled? No, it hasn't. That's fine. We don't want it to. That interlock there is simply there to enable the printing of this sky tether. And the safe blueprinting as well. So we'll bring that arm down. That's good, and then it will connect back in. So once both arms are connected to the tower, you can stop the process relatively safely. Okay, so we'll go stop. Where's stop? Stop and start. Climb up. Stop down and start. Ah, I may have balked it. We'll find out. Okay, you're going. That's good. That is good. It's good to mess up sometimes so you can see what happens. But in theory, this shouldn't mess up. Okay, so that's connected. So this now should disconnect safely. And will bring itself up. I know it's not the quickest of designs, but for safety's sake, you want to have enough clearance in time frames in order to have things work safely, properly. If you go too fast, it will just fall apart. There we go, it's disconnected, it's retreating, retracting, and let's turn that blueprint off. Projector. There we go. Obviously, once you've got your build in place, you want to turn off the projector completely because you don't need it anymore. So go over there, disconnect, and stop, and stop. Okay, that brings the carriage to rest in a safe, controlled manner. So that is the design in a nutshell. I may do another video of this if you have any further questions or need anything else explaining, or I can try and do a video of breaking down the components and showing you how it all works in stages. That is the option. So let me know what you think. I'll do my best to respond to your questions, and have a happy and well day, I suppose. Bye for now.